Happy morning, cadets. I welcome you all for the new session 2021-22, which is starting from April 1st, 2021. As we know, the present class 12th is facing the examination in the month of May, and however, the class 11th boys who have finished their examination in the month of March recently, who are going to attend the class 12th in the year 21-22 from 1st April as per the academic calendar released by our school. As we know, unfortunately some boys could not or cannot attend the offline classes. Most of the cadets are already here in the school and they are attending offline classes. For the benefit of those cadets who are at their places due to some unavoidable reasons, they are staying in their places, should not miss their classes along with the offline friends. That is how whatever is taught in the offline classes day to day basis, the same thing will also be available on our school website under the headings of different classes and the name of the subjects. With this background, I would like to discuss in today's class, or basically I would like to introduce what is exactly the curriculum for this session for class 12th computer science. Code is 083. Even though officially we have not received any curriculum for 21-22, as the case, the curriculum which was released by deleting some portions in class for class 11th as well as for class 12th for the year 2021, we will go ahead with the same curriculum unless and until we receive a revised one for the session 21-22 by the CBSE. Okay, as on my slide it is showing there, as you can see here, CBSE curriculum for session 21-22 class 12th computer science 083. Now I will move here now. As you can see here, if it is not visible, I will make it a little large so that you can have a clear cut discussions. As per the curriculum, it suggests that this is basically a video class for discussion on curriculum for 21-22. Of course, the pre-knowledge or the knowledge required, prerequisites for the class 12th curriculum is the computer science with Python, what you have studied in class 11th, and what you are going to learn as a learning outcomes in class 12th is you will apply the concept of functions. So far you have studied only the built-in functions. Now we are going to study about the user-defined functions, and also you can explore the abilities of the Python libraries, which are very, very strong and more constructive while developing the projects. And the new concept you are going to learn in class 12, that is file handling. Okay, those are also you are going to apply. This concept is also you are going to apply for your project developments. And the data structures. Actually there are two data structures are there for your class 12, stacks and queues, but as in the deleted curriculum as per the year 2021, the queues we are not considering right now. If in case the queues are also added for 21-22, definitely we'll study even queues also under the heading data structures. Of course, we'll study about the computer networks, basics, as well as some important terminologies, and the most important one what you are going to learn is the ability to use connectivity between Python and SQL. The present 12th class boys, they have studied that MySQL in their class 11, but you people could not study the MySQL due to the deleted portion what I would like to do is I will teach you both MySQL as well as Python, so that you can understand this final outcome, the ability to use the connectivity between Python and SQL. As far as the distribution of mass concerned, you can see here basically there are 3 units. Unit number 1, computational thinking and programming 2, because it is a continuous version of your computational thinking and programming 1, what you have studied in class 11th, carrying major marks 40. Then computer networks, it carries 10 marks. Then the third unit, database management, 20 marks. So altogether it is 70 marks. As of now, we'll concentrate on these 3 units. Okay. Next, we'll move now. What is exactly the contents in your computational thinking and programming 2? Let us see that. The revision of the basics of Python covered in class 11th. The concepts of Python basics as well as some of the important components in the Python what you have studied in class 11th. We are going to revise it once again. In detail, I will tell you exactly what we are going to discuss in the syllabus covered in class 11th. And apart from that we have divided into revision tour 1 and revision tour 2 for class 12th. Apart from that, these are the new units, the functions, the scope, parameter, passing of parameters. Then we will have about the mutable and immutable properties, okay, strings, dictionaries to functions, etc. Positional parameters, returning the values from the functions, using libraries, mathematical and string functions. The most important concept one what we are going to see is file handling. You can see here under the heading file handling, what is exactly the file. Data file means what are the types of files. There is the text files, binary files, and CSV, that is comma separated files. Then here in your next page, further explanation about what is exactly a text file, what are the basic operations on that, how to open a file, how to read the contents of a file, okay, how to write the text on that file, how to store it, what kind of input output errors may come, etc. Similarly, the same operations what you have to do on text files we will also apply on binary file and CSV file. Then the Python libraries. How we can explore the Python libraries, what are the advantage of them, what is the syntax to use on the Python libraries, etc. we are going to see. And then, as I said, the data structures, the list as covered in class 11. In the 11th class we have studied the list. List is a sequence, isn't it? The string, list as well as tuple are sequences that we have studied in class 11th. Same thing we will continue here, list as covered in class 11th basically. And then, as I told you, out of stack and queue, one data structure we have is a stack, and the operations on that stacks are push and pop using the list. This is all about the unit number 1, which is carrying a major portion of your marks, that is 40 marks. And then we'll discuss on computer networks. What is exactly we are going to see in the computer networks? The evolution of a networking right from ARPANET, okay, how the data is sent across the network and the techniques used for that. Then the terminologies like the channel, bandwidth, how we'll measure them, and data transfer rates in terms of BPS, that is kilobytes per second, megabytes per second, bytes per second, bits per second, etc. Then we study about the networking transmission media like your twisted pair cable, coaxial cable, optical fiber, and the wireless medium like infrared, radio link, microwave link, satellite link, etc. Then some of the devices, the important devices that are part and parcel of your network like modem, RJ45, Ethernet card, router, switch, gateway, Wi-Fi card, etc. And when you talk about a network, network can be designed or arranged in a different patterns based on their own advantages as well as along with some disadvantages. Such topologies or arrangements are called as the topology, that is bus, star, tree, PAN. PAN stands for personal area network, local area network, LAN, wide area network, WAN, metropolitan area network, MAN. Then we have the protocols, the set of rules that are to be obeyed by any network during the transmission. That is what we call it as TCP IP, that is transmission control protocol with internet protocol. And along with that we have a FTP, PPP, HTTP, SMTP, POP3, remote login, internet wireless and mobile communication protocols, GSM, GPRS, wireless in local loop, WLL, etc. These all will have this discussion in the separate unit called as a computer network. Basically this is a totally theoretical chapter where you need not have any kind of practical in this, but you need to understand the concept well and remember. Then the mobile communication technologies, right, first generation, second generation, third generation, etc. up to mobile processors. Then we have electronic mail protocols such as SMTP, POP3, video conferencing, voice on internet protocol, Wi-Fi and WiMAX. As you know that the moment we talk about the network, the ease with which we can communicate with each other, and also it involves a risk of security. That is what we are going to see under network security concepts, threats and prevention from vires, worms, Trojan horse, spams, cookies, how to use the cookies, protection using firewall, etc. Apart from that, the moment we say the security, of course, as you know, on today's networks so many crimes are taking place. For that we have an Indian IT Act, cyber law, cyber crimes and IPR issues, hacking, etc. we are going to discuss in network security concepts. Apart from that we have introduction to web services, that is www, World Wide Web, HTTP, HTML, XML, then HTTP as I said, domains, URL, websites, web browsers, etc. Okay, web servers and web hostings. The most important unit among all these three is the database management. In this we are going to see what is the concept of a database is. As you know that we are using the computer systems to perform digitally. The manual work is converted into an automatic work. Then we have to deal with the information. Information is available in case of a small amount, small quantity, it is fine. When the information is in huge, then we have to maintaining such huge amount of data becomes very, very difficult. Thus we go for the concept database management. What is the need and how it is used. Advanced relational data models are there. In that the concepts of terminologies will use like attribute, degree, cardinality, etc. One more language tool that we use for the query. Query means your inquiry. When a huge amount of data is available, then you need to do some queries. So this SQL helps you as a tool to put your queries to get or to retrieve the data whichever you requires. We'll study about that language, advantages of SQL and its components like DDL as well as DML. Then how to store the data in different formats, what are the data types, and here SQL commands covered in class 11. This is a problem because for the present 12th they studied these SQL commands in 2019-20, but in your 2021 you have not studied that. Therefore I need to tell all the SQL commands right from the beginning to understand the advanced commands which are kept in class 12. That is not a problem at all. We'll see the basic MySQL commands right from the command number 1 to all these advanced commands like this, between, like, null, order by, group by, having. These all commands we'll see in class 12th along with the SQL functions, sum, average, count, max and minimum, and we'll also see important operations like equi join and natural join. One more important concept left here is interface of Python with a SQL database. Connecting SQL with Python, creating database connectivity applications, performing insert, update, delete queries, and displaying data using the fetch one, fetch all, as well as row count operation. Another class will discuss about the practical, which is carrying 30 marks. Okay, and your project is also what is the list of your practicals. We'll see based on the concept what you learn in class 12th. I will have a separate video class for that. Okay, then this also database management is also the part of your practical. And of course, this time in class 11th, how you did your project in a smaller scale, you need to do a project in a larger scale, and about this project also I will discuss in some other video. So you remember that as in class 11th 70 marks was theory and 30 marks was practical. Similarly in class 12 also 70 marks theory and 30 marks practical. Okay, is it clear? Right. And then what we will do now is this is the deleted portion of class 12 for the session 2021. Okay, and this of course we need not discuss. This was earlier, it was clarification was required for the previous year 2021. That's why this was there. Now with this, once again I will highlight the marks distribution for you here. The computational thinking and programming 40 marks, which covers your revision tours, functions, Pythons, libraries, file handling, data structure, and etc. Now computer networks carrying 10 marks, database management carries 20 marks, and your total is up in database management MySQL commands, interface Python with MySQL, totally 70 marks. Now if you go down, if we take a list of the units which you are going to see in computational thinking and programming 2, we have two major units initially at the beginning, that is revision tour 1 and revision tour 2. As you see on the slide here, the purpose of the revision tour 1 and 2 is to brush up the concept that we have learnt in class 11th. The tour 1 covered basic concepts. It's covered the basic concepts here. Okay, basic concepts like Python basics, data handling and control flow statements. And in tour 2, to help us to recall and brush up the concepts like basically the sequences studied in Python, strings, lists and tuples, along with a mapping dictionary. This is what. So now with the in detail, what all we are going to see in the revision tour 1 is the introduction, the tokens, the structure of a Python program, the variables and assignment, input and output, data types, mutable and immutable types. Similarly in Python tour 2, what we'll see here in Python tour 2, okay, here introduction, then strings in Python, lists in Python, tuples in Python and dictionaries in Python. So in my next class definitely I will start with this introduction, the Python revision tour 1 I will discuss today as a introduction of the first new academic year on April 1st. I would like to stop here and will continue in my next class with Python revision tour 1. Bye.